What is up guys, Nekrews51 here today, and we are on F1 22 to start my team career mode. Now it has been a very long time since I've done a career mode on this channel, and it's been a very long time since I've ever completed a career mode on this channel. Now it's been a few years since I last done on my team career. It only lasted like 3 episodes because quite frankly I just wasn't really into the career stuff, and I think it's time we bring this back, and I think we finally get on to finishing a career season. It's been about 5 years since I've completed a career mode season. I think it's finally time we get on to this. So yeah, I'm happy to be finally doing this again, and I hope you guys are looking forward to it as well. I did really enjoy my career mode stuff back in the day 5 years ago and stuff, and just recently I thought it's maybe time we finally bring this back because it's been so long, and you know it'd be great to just see what you guys think, and it'll be exciting and new content for the channel. I'd also like to mention ADRT FedEx as well. Thank you man for doing my career mode thumbnails. If you guys need any thumbnails for your YouTube videos and bits and pieces like that, give him a shout on Twitter and all those other good social media platforms as well. I'll link all his socials in the description of this video if you want to check him out, so give him a shout. He's very good. But yeah, 16 race calendar as well, if you guys noticed that at the start of the video. Not 22 races. We're going to shape it up with a random mix of tracks. Unfortunately we can't like swap all the tracks around like kind of Abu Dhabi, Round or stuff like that. We just have to take some tracks out, unfortunately. So yeah, we're going with that. And the team name is going to be called Nekrews Racing, so it's the only good name I could think of, to be honest. I was thinking about Nekrews F1 team, but from what I've went through it seems like Nekrews Racing is the best. We've selected our driver, we're going with Red Bull Powertrains, and we've got our sponsor as well. As you can see there, we've got Oscar Piastri. Now I think he has the most potential for this career mode season, so we're going to have to get him on board. And as you can see right now, we are going to unveil our livery on this 2022 F1 car, and it's time for you guys to find out what this car will look like. So there it is there, black, white and red. Now I do like a black and red car. I have added a little bit more colours into it. Obviously as well, it would make sense to have blue on the car because I have picked our team colours to be blue, black and red, but I obviously wanted to just shape it up for as well with the car and such. I'm not sure if you can have coloured sponsors. It's been a while since I've been on careers, so I'll have a look at that, and if I can colorise the sponsors, I'll make them blue so it equals it out with the colour scheme that we've got for our car and the team. So we went straight into it here. We've got plenty of R&D. We're just going to upgrade our durability, chassis and aerodynamics, because most people would go for power unit and stuff like that, but it's best to just think ahead of yourself and just go for aerodynamic stuff and chassis, and because it'll be worth it in the end, and you can work on the power unit a little later on. And I'm showing this on the screen now because, as you can see with the driver market, I have noticed a little cheeky thing Codemasters have done for this year. I see Mark Webber, Nico Hülkenberg and Jacques Villeneuve in there as well. So 3 other F1 drivers have been added to this year's game, alongside some other legends that we've obviously had in previous games. So very nice to see there, Nico Hülkenberg, Mark Webber and Jacques Villeneuve. Never know, I might sign Nico Hülkenberg as my teammate, but maybe for next season, it depends how Oscar is performing. Because we might be number 2 driver, we might not be. We'll see how the season gets on. But yeah, we're going right into Saudi Arabia here. So as you can see, yeah, you've probably noticed already, Bahrain is not the first race of the season. We've decided to skip out Bahrain. I know, such a great track, but it's all about shaping the calendar up and just having something different. And yeah, I thought Saudi would be a great place to start the season, fast flowing, and I'm sure it'll be chaos ahead. So we took to the track in free practice, done our track acclimatization and all the other bits and pieces that, you know, the good stuff in career, and we seemed quite comfortable with the car. The car didn't feel too understeered. Now I did feel like we were struggling with the power unit a little bit, because obviously I have focused the car a lot more on the aerodynamic and chassis side for now, because, well, we know Saudi Arabia is a power circuit, so it's not going to really do us any good, but you know, we've got to just make the most of what we got currently, and just see how the race unfolds and how crazy it's going to be. So we're skipping on to quali here, getting right to it, onto a lap. It was quite a decent lap actually. I felt it was quite good with the car, felt in control of the car enough. Doesn't feel like it was going to snap on me out of every corner on traction, very smooth out of the corners, and as we crossed the line we went right behind Lando Norris, half a second off Carlos Sainz, who currently holds the fastest lap time, and as we skip later on to the end of quali on our final run. It's been quite chaotic actually trying to find space on this lap, and we've had to slot in quite close to behind Guan Yu Zhou, so we're going to have to hope that Guan Yu Zhou isn't slow in his lap or makes a mistake, because then we're in for a painful one. But luckily we weren't. Guan Yu Zhou did pull away from us on the lap, and we crossed the line 2/10 quicker than our previous lap. But unfortunately for us, not better than I was hoping for. I thought it was going to be around about 18th, 17th. They've ended up being 21st on the grid, with Oscar 17th there. So where Oscar was is pretty much where I was expecting to be, but unfortunately just wasn't quick enough for us there. But Oscar doing bits for us there in P17, which is quite good to see. So I think it'll be an easy one stop from here. Remember, it's a 50% race, so I am guessing it'll be medium to hard, and obviously whatever unfolds later in the race with safety cars and bits and pieces like that, the strategy may change. So yeah, it's going to be a very exciting race. I can't wait for this, because I do like starting at the back and trying to go through the field. But remember, we are in a different scenario to some other cars. We're pretty much in the slowest car, or we don't know yet, but we're round about at the back anyway. So we'll see what the race unfolds, and I'm now going to hand you over to David Croft, who's going to go through the formation lap.
Right, here we go then. The formation lap gets underway as the drivers prepare themselves for the first race of a brand new Formula One season. Each driver will be hoping to start this season on a high note. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. And the question I'm asking is, which teams have got it right? Which ones have got it horribly wrong?
So as we come to the end of the formation lap here, I have to say I do like the cutscenes added to this game, especially the broadcast mode that we can now enable on this year's game for safety car periods and formation lap periods. I've enabled them as well, if you're wondering, just to make the look a lot more realistic and stuff. And anyone wondering AI, obviously you've seen earlier on in the video that it is 110, so we're going highest difficulty as possible. Got to start somewhere. We can't start right at the front, and you know, it'll be pretty much boring. We've got to start right from the back, and that's what we're doing here. Lights are coming on. We start 21st. Where are we going to finish today? We're about to find out, and off we go here. And it's not been a great start from us. The pack kind of just leaving us for nothing there, and Nicholas is now on the side of us as we head down to the first corner with overtake mode on there, nearly losing the rear end. Going round outside of Vettel now into this first corner, taking advantage of the cars going very slow, getting backed up behind all the other cars, but just didn't have the traction out the corner. And somehow, out of all that, we've ended up still in the same position where we've started. Vettel and Albon going side by side there, as Latifi now goes down the inside, now round to the outside. He's trying there, but not enough, and it's very, very heavy, these cars in the first lap, so you can't do really too much. But we've got to make the most of it as well, because we know that the pack will be heavily bunched up. So we're still in 21st place here, not where we want to be. I'm sure Oscar's doing well just down the road there. I'm sure I can see him. Albon very slow. We're going to try and go round outside, but we've just not got the grip to do so. The cars are very heavy, and obviously the tyres are very cold as well. It doesn't help with our car being where it is. As we move on to the end of lap 1, now on to lap 2, it's very close. We've managed to catch up to Albon, used a lot of our airs in that final section of the track, and we've sent a late dive on Seb. Albon's dive bombed 2 people, one of them being Oscar there, and we've went round outside of Seb, now into the slipstream of Albon, right up the back of Piastri as well. As we head into the next corner, it's very close between these two drivers. We've actually hit the back of Albon's Williams there as well, which is not ideal. No damage for us, fortunately, there. But look at this, Albon, Piastri still going side by side there. And look at that, Piastri is braked very early, and we've near enough into the back of him. And actually, we've near enough binned it just out the corner as well, trying to get the traction down from that near collision we've had with our teammate. Could you imagine we didn't even make it through 2 laps of this race without having a DNF? That would have not been a great start. And Vettel now going round outside of us, not able to do so because we managed to hold the position well. Unfortunately for us, a few corners later, Vettel shooting past us, you know, because our power unit isn't the greatest right now. We just have to go with what we've got. But luckily for us, Vettel into turn 1 makes a mistake, leaves the door open for us, and we've taken back 19th place. And I've looked on the graphics there as well. I've spotted Charles Leclerc now down at the back, because I believe he had a bit of contact at the start, left him with no wing damage. Now, this is not lap 2 we're watching right now. I know it looks very similar because it is the same sort of scenario we had before. Albon and Piastri going for it again. We've managed to catch these two up because they've been battling, and this time we're aware where Piastri could be, and we've went round the outside off our teammate up into 18th place, and now we're onto the back of Albon. I've decided to deploy all the overtake here to try and get the move done. Now remember what we tried to do on Albon on lap 1, that we're going to try and do it right here as we go round the outside of Alexander Albon. I think we've made the move just about. Yes, we have. Albon is still holding on there, and we've got all our airs deployed to try and get away from the Williams. It's just not enough power to get away from the Mercedes engine, but we've managed to hold the position as we go into the corner, and that's us up to 17th place just for a brief moment, because a few corners later Albon has managed to take the position back with the DRS. Has left us for dead pretty much, unfortunately for us, but we're very close to Albon here though. Again, we've managed to get a very nice exit, so we're having a nice little battle with Alex here. I couldn't decide which way to kind of go here on this main straight, and I've decided to go to the outside. Now I think the inside would have been best, but you know, I didn't want to lose too much time, and we've kind of lost a lot of time anyway. We've outbraked ourselves to the first corner, but luckily for us we've managed to get the move done on Alexander Albon, and we're up into P15. Because a few drivers have pitted, and one of them is actually Max Verstappen. He's had problems as well, lost his wing, and he's now at the back with his fellow championship rival in real life, Charles Leclerc, who's also just came into the pits with no wing again, so he's not really having a nice race. As Charles Leclerc. But now we're coming into the pits here, trying to jump a few of the cars ahead of us because our pace is very nice. All tyres are now on as we're about to go here. No, we're not, because look at that, our rear left tyre having problems going on. Now I have to say, it's unfortunate for us because we've been trying to undercut the people ahead of us, but unfortunately a problem in the pits has prevented us from gaining a lot of time. We've actually lost time from that stop, about 2.5 seconds to what we were hoping for. And look at that, pit crew at the back there, the left hand side, just can't get the tyre off, and I have to say it's a very nice feature to see on this year's game, but it's came on our first pit stop in our career. Well, now I didn't have to do that, but unfortunately it has, and because of that pit stop, as we lost 2.5 seconds, we have actually jumped Lance Stroll, and right up the back of Pierre Gasly. We're about a second or so behind this pack, but unfortunately we were hoping to get ahead by quite some margin because our pace was quite good and they were battling quite a bit. We've went round outside of Gasly there, so we're up into 17th, which is very good, and we've got the rest of this mid-pack to come in as Pierre Gasly now takes back 17th place from us, and you've got Lance Stroll right behind us as well as we're trying to defend into this next corner. But it's so unfortunate we had that pit stop problem because we could have been ahead of this pack. And it's even painful for us because look at the cars coming out the pit lane there. Guan Yu Zhou and Yuki Tsunoda just getting ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. Zhou slotting in behind Ricciardo, and that right there I believe is for 11th place. And from my calculations from where I am on the track, I do still believe we could have been ahead in this pack. And look at that, Gasly was wide there and there's a wing off. It's not Gasly's anyway, I did think so when he went wide and the safety cars also came out. And look at Gasly. Gasly was trying to get us back there as the safety car came out. Now that could have been crucial for our race, and we've managed to slot in just ahead of him. And look at that, it was Daniel Ricciardo, the McLaren, who had wing damage, and Schumacher was in for mediums as well. Now I don't know if that's just due to strategy or he's trying something for the end of the race, but maybe he did have wing damage. But all that has landed us in P12 of this race. Now we could have been sitting in the points right now if we didn't have the slow pit stop, but we just have to get on with it. No excuses, we just need to finish the job. And as you can see, this is the broadcast mode for the safety car period. It's very nice, isn't it, having a camera on the back of the safety car. As we skip a few laps later on, we're getting right to it here. Safety car is in at the end of lap 16. Gasly is right on our tail here. Guan Yu Zhou goes heavily defensive. We try to go for a dive on two cars into the first corner. We end up having to defend from Gasly. Gasly's now down our inside. Guan Yu Zhou has a bad exit there with Tsunoda going round his outside. Can he get the move into the next corner? I'm not so sure, but it's going to be very tight. We have been very close to some cars at this section of the track quite a lot during this Grand Prix, and it's very dodgy as well. Look at that, Gasly wide as well, and it's a yellow flag. Surely he's hit the wall there, but it's not. It's Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen's race has ended. That's not what Max would have been wanting after such a miserable race for him so far. It's just been even more miserable. Look at that. Just couldn't really do much. Actually, just rejoining, quite crazy to be honest. They just can't do nothing about it. So Verstappen out of the race. Now that's crucial for the championship at the front there. As you can see, Schumacher did get past us there, so he did pit, remember, under the safety car. And look at this, Tsunoda and Schumacher going for it again, and we're trying to take advantage of this. Because we know we've not got the greatest of pace. We're not too bad, but we're just not there really. We're quite in the back, and we're just trying to get everything out of this car as we possibly can, because we do need to take advantage of races like this, because we don't know how bad the next race could be. Our car could be hideous, could be horrible, could be not too bad, but this is a crazy race so far, and it's about to get even crazier because Schumacher is under threat from Tsunoda here, and he's under threat from us, and so Ricciardo and also Leclerc. We've sent a dive. Look at Tsunoda sending the dive. We've got the two of them near enough here. Leclerc sent the dive on Ricciardo. We've just about got enough traction. No, we've not, because Tsunoda's now got past us. We've got into the slipstream of Tsunoda. Leclerc is so close behind us. I swear if Leclerc dives us here, it's going to be a bit of contact. No, it's not. We've ended up dive bombing everyone, and we've managed to gain the positions that we really need in this Grand Prix. Now we're P11. We don't want to be P11 because we're one place away from the points, and that would be a real pain as well. But that was insane racing there, and it's about to get even more insane because we're now defending from Mick Schumacher. As you can see, Tsunoda managed to get past us again on the back straight. We've been passed by so many cars on that back straight this race. I don't know how many, to be honest, but it's quite a lot. And look at the Alpines going for it there. Leclerc was wide, and Schumacher's lost his wings, so we've got another car out of the equation for us to not defend with. And Albon's suddenly out the race, so I don't know what's happened to Albon there, if it's a mechanical problem. And talk about Leclerc again, he's going round the outside. Now we know how quick that Ferrari is, but in this point of the race we really can't afford to let Leclerc by, because he's just another front runner who will just shoot past everyone, and we're trying to get points here. As we skip on to lap 24, this is Guan Yu Zhou and Yuki Tsunoda again. This is 10th place in front of us. Tsunoda's now grabbed that 10th place, and we've near enough stacked it into the wall, and that's a crucial mistake because we had such a nice exit at the last corner, and look how much we've gained on the two drivers as well. If we didn't make that mistake, I'm sure we could have sent a dive into the first corner, and that's what we're trying to do, get the cut back. But unfortunately Leclerc had sent a late dive on us then. We've hit the back of Tsunoda, so we couldn't get the cut back we wanted, and Leclerc's now going round our outside. Can we go defensive? Yes we can. We managed to defend him off there. And this is now coming down to the last lap and probably the last corner as well. We're trying everything we can to push out the limit of this car. Oscar, I think, sits in P15 right now, but he's nowhere. He's about 5 or so 6 seconds behind this battle, and we've just luckily been landed with some very close battles in this race, which has landed us very close to the points. As we skip later on to the lap, we're pushing so much here. A little tap of the wall there. Leclerc is 3 tenths behind us, but unfortunately for us, we've now got a gap of 7 tenths to Tsunoda, and with not many corners left of this race, I do not think we're going to be close enough to challenge for the points. Now we maybe might get P11, but the points are looking very, very far away now, unfortunately. But we are pushing as hard as we possibly can. All the overtake is on. We've got DRS and everything. Leclerc is now gaining on us. We're more defending than we are attacking. But I tell you what, who is attacking though is Yuki Tsunoda. He was sitting P11, and look at that. Guan Yu Zhou has been down round outside with Tsunoda snatching the one championship point off him as we come to the line. Look how close we are to the points, and we've landed in P12. Oh, that was so close. What a very exciting Grand Prix that was though. I did really, really enjoy that one. But so close, and it's unfortunate for us because I feel like as we head to Australia, we might not be really anywhere in this pack. We could be in the mid pack, but I don't think we're going to be anywhere near the points. So, see, it's races like this we need to take advantage of, and we did take advantage of it because you have to remember we started P21 and we've ended up 12, so we gained 9 places, and that's why we ended up with getting driver of the day. But as you can see, it was Carlos Sainz that won the Grand Prix, so a bit of luck for him in the game, unlike real life at the moment, but I'm sure his championship will turn around. And unlike his teammate Charles Leclerc, he was battling with us most of the race and had lost 2 front wings, so as you can see he was very quick because he did manage to catch us up even after pitting twice with the front wing. And Max Verstappen out the Grand Prix as well, so that's not good for them. But yeah, Lando Norris, Valtteri Bottas doing bits for their team as well there. Oscar sitting in P15, and as the races go on, plenty points to get, and you know, we are right at the back, and we could have got points in our first race. I would have loved to have seen that, but unfortunately it just was not to be. But yeah guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video. I really enjoyed making it, and I'm looking forward to doing this series. Now do not worry, it's not going to be 3 episodes because it has been for the past 3-4 years, and I think it's time for a change, a bit of content on this channel, and I think it's time I give you guys a career mode series to look forward to once in a while, every few days or so, or just in between what I'm doing. But yeah guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel to never miss a My Team Career episode and all other sorts of F1 22 content I'm going to be doing upon the game release and up until when the game ends, pretty much. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and take care.